Hello Aquarius, great to have you here. My name is Shauna. Today's reading is a general love forecast for November 2025. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Aquarius. Same spread, but it's a different deck. And I've laid out the cards just to save time and to minimize, the time on the video, the recording overall. So let's go into your reading here, and I'm going to relay the initial messages that came through while I was shuffling for this spread, and then I'll go into this spread. One of the first things that I'm sensing here for Aquarius females specifically, see small trinkets, small gifts coming from other people to you. Specifically like flowers and, little knickknacks, like pretty shiny things. And I'm seeing gems, jewelry, and some as well coming from you to other people. So there are some really exciting social engagements that are going to make you very happy. I see extravagant like social outings and a lot of trinkets coming through. Okay. And I feel that for a lot of you, there is a significant if you are, who you're Aquarius females, if you are dating, there is a significant person. And they're saying this is somebody who is very established. And I don't know why, but I feel like it's a man coming from a distance. So there might be some geographical distance between the two of you. I do see communication, like a lot of rapid communication back and forth through social media, through text, through, but I feel like it's a significant person. It's not like, you're scattering your energy between multiple suitors. I feel that it is specifically with one person. For Aquarius males out there, what I'm getting is, some family things that are coming through that you need to take care of. People within your family are demanding some of your attention. There might be assistance needed coming through. There's worries, I feel. A little bit of like housing worries. So wherever you're living, the living arrangement might not be stable, might not be as stable as you'd like. People going and people leaving and coming back in. So there's a lot of like, I feel like a little bit of a chaotic energy in your living arrangement for males and females. Okay. And you might even be contemplating like, is this a good place for me to stay, and how long realistically I can stay there. So there's that energy coming through with your living arrangement and also your family unit. I see a lot of you are contemplating travel. So there's like a short distance travel. I don't feel you're going overseas. I feel that you're going to an area that is near water. There's something here about a trip taken near water. So that's coming through as well. And I do feel it's going to bring a burst of new energy for you. And it's going to be very, very fruitful for a lot of you, male and females. Okay. What I'm also feeling is I don't see any problems with travel arrangements. Everything's going to be smoothed out, and it's going to be, a very fruitful voyage. For others of you, I feel like you are still dealing with an ex, okay? And an ex that is coming through and who is a little bit hostile. So I feel some jealousy coming through from an ex because you are with somebody and you have like a significant, person in mind that you really care for on the romantic level. And there's a lot of reciprocity. So I feel like there is that jealousy coming through from an ex. I feel that it is best for you not to re-engage with this person because I feel they are emotionally irrational at this point. There is something here about rage and jealousy. Best not to re-engage in it. Give them some time to cool off and, just do your thing. Okay, exes are in the past for a reason, and especially if you have somebody significant in mind, there's just no reason to re-engage with the past. Don't bring that energy and let it affect your current relationship. Okay. I'm also feeling that some of you are really financially, this is a big financial month for you. If you have a choice, I would say try to do the traveling and things like that. If you can help it, try to do that next month. because I feel like you want to stay put to reap the financial opportunities that are made available to you for this month. What I'm also feeling as well, I see some problematic news coming through from exes. I do feel as well when it comes to vehicles, like if you're like traveling by air, like by boat, whatever, that's fine. I don't feel there's problems with that. But they're saying something here about car issues. So, minimize driving as much as you can. There's some bad news, like expenditures regarding a car issue. So keep that in mind and, buffer yourself accordingly, minimizing driving, or at least have some money saved up so that you can take care of this. I feel that it's gonna, cost about 300-400 or so to get that fixed or to get that situation sorted out. They say there is some communication coming through that is going to keep you in limbo regarding some vehicle issues. Okay, so be careful with speeding. Just be careful when driving like on land in your vehicle or a vehicle as well. So let's go into your reading here. The first cluster, so this is, the same format that I've been doing. I just lay the cards out because these are smaller and they all fit on camera. So the first cluster here deals with the Strength card and the Five of Wands. The Strength card is a card about being resilient, okay? This is kind of like, I guess like, rather than cutting somebody down, it is really in your best interest to try to, I would say, like manipulate a situation, but not in a bad way. It's sort of like finding a smart way to get your enemies to come on board with you. So that can be understanding where they're coming from so that you can spin a situation in your favor to accommodate them. Okay, but I don't feel there's deceptions or lies or any trickery involved here. It's just about, finding the weak points, exploiting that, and, getting other people to see what you're seeing. So there is a conflict here. And for a lot of you, it might be with a fire sign because of the Wands energy. It's the Five of Wands, which indicates, breakdown in some type of communication, not agreeing with somebody and things like that. A lot of you might also have been dealing in some type of competitive sport. You might be betting. You might be like betting on games. You might also be physically playing a specific sport. And I do feel you want to be very careful about overexertion because the Strength card is also a card about health. So there is something here for those of you who are athletes regarding, overexertion, possibly like injuries and things like that coming through. Okay, so keep that in mind. Stretch, do proper stretches, and don't overexert when you are exercising or doing anything like physically strenuous, especially pertaining to sporting events. Be careful about betting. Don't bet more than you're willing to lose because I do feel this is just not a great time for risky endeavor. So that can be betting. So know the stats, do your research before you put any amount of money up for bets. What I'm also feeling here is if you are dealing with a fire sign who has been a little bit like, I guess like, you've been getting some type of news back and forth between you and this fire sign. So Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. I do sense that they're a little bit like frazzled up for some reason. And it is your job to kind of like have to smooth out the wrinkles in their lives. They might be really stressed out. They might have a lot of things, like a lot of projects that they're working on. I see them like running around. And as a result of it, whenever you're around them, you just never feel calm. You feel like very frazzled all the time. And I feel that it's in your best interest to try to calm them down, or at least, tell them if it's like wearing on you. I feel like it might be emotionally and psychically wearing and even energetically wearing down your sense of stability. So you tell them, hey, I can't hang out with you when you're constantly like stressed out or like this or mired in a very, very negative space. So let's just take a breather and then we'll come back together when you've got things sorted out. So I feel like this could be a romantic partner, or it could just be somebody significant in your life, could be family members. I'm seeing somebody that is very, very emotionally dear to you that is dealing with this, okay? There could be health issues as well with a fire sign that is prominent in your life. Especially I see, exes, I see mothers, and I see family unit. Okay. Some health issues that's affecting another person. They're coming to you and they're doing this emotional dump, and you just don't know how to react, and you're trying your best to manage it, or at least you're trying to your best to like soothe them and calm them down. What is coming in with your financial state here? We do have the Two of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a house card, and this is what I also consider like a marriage card as well. So a lot of you are at this point, there's something I feel is happening in your home environment where you're not feeling completely stable, and you're thinking about, how I can rearrange my homes. You might have new people coming through, like new people moving in, new people moving out. You might be thinking about selling the property, getting new property. There might be some remodeling in the home environment, and as a result of it, it is creating like a financial drain on you as well. There might be a lot of expenditures that is needed for the home. And a lot of you, I feel a lot of energy where you are shuffling between places, and you don't really feel like you have a home. So you might have like a physical house or an apartment that you live in, but there's a lot of energy where you're running back and forth and you're not really like settled in. So I do see this, frazzled energy around you. If you can, I feel it is best for you to try to stay put this month. I do see a lot of you are planning to travel or have already bought tickets, or, have already like laid down the framework to travel, but like you're never home. So your home, your sense of rootedness, your sense of like where you are and your sense of home is severely destabilized this month because you're not spending enough time in one location. What I'm also feeling is because of all the travel, be careful about, falling ill. When we're stressed out, our immune system is significantly weakened. And so be careful about bringing that and having that emotional, mental stress affecting your health, okay? Because I see that coming through. I do see as well some illness within the family unit. So mother, father, even though you don't live with them, I see some trips being taken as a result of somebody's health as well. Your financial state looks to me to be good, so I don't feel that, the Two of Pentacles deals with that. But I do sense it deals more with like, do I sell a home? Do I live here? Do I continue to stay, pay the mortgage, or do I want to buy a house? So there's a lot of concerns here about that. On the other end, and I'm going to do your romance reading in a little bit, I do feel a lot of you have met somebody very, very significant, and this person has all the prerequisites where you feel like you want to take things to the next level, and you're trying to decide what to do. Like, do we date each other exclusively? Do we take a trip together? How is this going to work? So there's an element of distance. There's an element of a relationship, a very, very stable partner. So an element of a long distance thing, an element of travel, and trying to solidify and stabilize a relationship. So I feel many of you are starting this month thinking about, long-term relationships, marriage, household like ownership, owning assets and things like that, and really wanting to have that sense of rootedness where you want to domesticate, which is great. So I feel like if you have been bouncing around, living out of a suitcase, this is the month in which you're like, I really want to settle down. And that's great, because I feel like that's what your soul really needs, because I keep seeing you all bouncing around and like you're physically exhausted. Emotionally, you feel a little bit empty, and I feel like you want a little bit more of substance when it comes to, solidifying a relationship, okay? Now, what's coming through in your emotional life here? We do have the Page of Pentacles. Let's talk about this first. The Page of Pentacles is an earth sign, okay? So a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. And I feel that there is somebody here that you're dealing with who is they might not be, like super financially stable. They might not have like a lot of money in the bank account, but I feel this is somebody who is very, very a good fit for you. They have a playful energy about them, so I see a lot of I almost feel like a very good energetic rapport between you and this person. And I feel for a lot of you, this is somebody that recently came in. I don't feel this is a person from the past because it's a page energy. It usually indicates to me new people and sun, moon, or rising. And I feel almost like this is somebody that, wants a stable relationship with you. And I feel that for some of you, you like this person, but I feel that you're reassessing how to make the relationship work. There might be distance, there might be age gaps, there might just be values differences, and you might also have other suitors on the table. But overall, I just see that, a lot of you, I just feel this energy where you have somebody significant in mind and you really, you like them, but you're trying to reassess how this is going to work out financially. And I feel for this month, this earth sign is figuring like quite prominently in this month because there is an element here about either traveling together, renting a house together, getting some type of semi-permanent housing arrangement together. There's going to be a lot of good energy, good rapport between you and this person, okay? I feel like this person is bringing you opportunities for recreational activities like social outings, like doing things in the woods, I feel. And also like I see picnics, I see camping, I see like outdoor activities, hiking even. So they're bringing you opportunities to expand your leisure activities and it's going to make you feel quite good, okay? Now what's coming through? Finances. This is a great cluster here. We do have the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles, especially for those Aquarius who are self-employed, you have a lot of emails, communication coming through, and it's a very busy month, okay? So finances are very stable. You have, if you are working in a client base, or like if you're dependent on clients, there's a lot of communication coming through. You're in high demand. You're on top of your game. And I do feel people are looking to you for a lot of, for your expertise. For those of you who are working, 9 to 5 and working for another person, I do see an element here where you are looking at other financial options. You might think about like where you are right now. Yes, there's a lot of financial abundance. I feel that. But you might be thinking about like, where else can I like apply so that I can get a better financial outcome, and also I can build up a career over time. So I feel for a lot of you, majority of you might have side gigs where you are self-employed. And then especially for those of you who are working right now, you're projecting, 5, 6 years down the future, like down the line into the future, excuse me. And you might be thinking that like, yes, I'm making a lot of money right now, but how stable is it? So your aim is financial stability. And you're possibly flirting with the idea of, let me apply for some jobs just to see what's out there. So I see you curious and I see you browsing just to see what else is available out there because you want a career. You're in a very serious mindset right now where you want a career track. You want a relationship that has, marriage potential. You're thinking about, retirement, you're thinking about savings, and you're thinking about that nest egg that will allow you to travel when you are retired. So there's a lot of serious thoughts about, long-term planning, which is great. And I do sense that overall, financially, especially for self-employed people, you're going to be in very high demand. I do see it's like a month where you're hitting the ground running, and there's not going to be a lot of time for wasted this month. You're constantly, I see a lot of energy, like kinetic energy where you're shifting from one place to the next, almost like living out of a suitcase, it feels. So there's a lot of events planned, especially for women, and there's a lot of outings and things like that. And I feel for men, a lot of just, travel back and forth and things like that. Now, in terms of your advice, we have the Knight of Rods. And the Knight of Rods, this is a fire sign, a Sagittarius, a Leo, or an Aries. This is somebody that is bringing in a lot of good news coming your way, like a lot of good news, positive energies. And they're bringing with them as well, like, I'm feeling like the way that these cards are falling out, this is somebody that is trying to prove themselves to you for some reason, okay? So this is a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. And I do feel that what's going on here is they want to prove themselves to you, and they're pretty relentless. So the way that you're showing up here is the person in control, in command of of your feelings, your emotions, your life. You're somebody who is kind of like, this person is putting you on a pedestal. They see you as somebody who has great command, great control, great intelligence, and you know exactly what you're doing. And they want to form almost like a partnership with you. So you have a fire sign here that is trying their best to formulate, you know, like to figure out a course of like a course of plans. So I see you sitting with this person, itemizing some things like, you know, let's do this, let's do that, and look at all these opportunities. And I feel like they're very sincere, and I feel that, you know, in whatever capacity, if it's a work situation, they're coming through, and they might ask you, you know, for advice. They might ask you to trust them. So I keep seeing that, and I feel that it's going to be very, very good for you. Any partnership that is planned for this month, especially with a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, is going to pan out very, very wonderfully. Any partnerships that you are hoping to form, especially with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, it is going to work out, but it's going to be very slow, mainly because I feel that they need more training, whereas the fire sign has like the foundation already laid out. Okay, so that's what I'm sensing for you guys. Let's go into your love reading here. So it seems like it's going to be a very strong financial month. Let's try to stay put, okay? Wow, so you have some really strong, amazing cards here. This is a really good spread overall. The cards they're echoing the same themes, and I feel like there is a lot of you have somebody quite significant, okay? So let me just go over this reading here. I'm going to start with this first card here underneath the deck, okay? Because I feel like, well, actually, let's start with the past, because I feel like a lot of you have been through so much pain and disappointment in the past, and at this point, you are redefining the people that you interact with. You are redefining what being in a relationship really means. So I feel like you have somebody new that is showing you a better way to be a relationship partner, and I feel like a lot of you are changing direction. So let's just talk about this. First of all, we have here the Nine of Wands, and in this deck, this is somebody who's been through the ringer. They've got a lot of battle scars, and at this point, like, there's that tree in the pit of their stomach, which means a lot of wisdom that is accumulated through life experience. So regardless of like how no matter what age you are, I feel that the last few years, most of you have been through some type of really intense karmic relationships that have either tested your ability to love, or tested your ability to trust, or have really tested your patience. And I feel for a lot of you, especially if you have stuck it out with a partner and have broken up regardless of how much you wanted things to work out. I feel that some karmic relationship has ended, and as a result of it, you were left like you were left broken. You healed yourself. You did a lot of work in order to overcome that pain, that heartache, overcome that disappointment, and to vow, like, I see you vowing to yourself that I'm not going to be so naive, I feel. And then for others of you, you're just like, I know I've been through a lot and I know what I want now, because your heart chakra is open. You can see he's got like that little door to his heart. So I feel overall, this is the state that you were in the past. You came to love relationships a little bit jaded, and you came to love relationships like with one foot out the door. Okay, one foot out the door, and you needed the other person to prove to you they're worth it before you invest yourself. And that's great. And I feel that, on the one hand, you still want and love in relationships, and you still do believe that you can find the right person. On the other hand, you're still, approaching it in a very baby step type of way. What's linked up with it here is the Seven of Wands. And I feel in the past, right, you trusted your gut instincts. You might have dated somebody, right, that no one approved of. And, there's nothing wrong with that. The relationship is between, the two people that are involved. External parties will always chime in and give their 2 cents, but it's ultimately not their business. And I feel like you were dating somebody, and there were a lot of like other people interfering in the relationship here, and you defended that person, you stood up for that person, you loved that person unconditionally, even despite all of these things you're hearing about a person. And I feel that that can go one of two ways: the relationship disbanded, and then other people told you, I told you so, or you might have just arrived at the conclusion that, I defended this person, and for some reason I feel like they didn't do the same for you. So I feel it was, the relationship, I feel like it wasn't all bad, but the fact that they couldn't give you whatever you gave to them, they couldn't stand up for you the way that you stood up for them, and they couldn't sacrifice themselves the way that you sacrificed for them. It was a big eye opener, and it was painful, but I think like it revealed to you that the other person just probably didn't love you as much as you deserved. And as a result of it, I feel like a few of you might have gone through a few relationships like that, and now you're just like, I'm done, I'm gonna have one foot out the door, when ready to bounce, because I've been hurt. So, which brings us to this card here. We have here the Ace of Cups, and I'm sorry, this is the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups indicates a situation where we are starting to like let down our defenses. We are starting to feel love and attraction and affection for another person. So whatever the beginning of that past relationship was, you're starting to feel it again. And on the one hand, it feels nice. You have this, butterflies in your stomach. You want to give the best of yourself to the relationship. And you feel like, I really like this person, and I feel that they're solid and they're legitimate. So I don't want to be scared and, have one foot out the door. And a lot of you are really, kind of swept away by a new person. So you're trying your best to like let go of that, pain from the past, so that you can open yourself fully to this new love relationship. And it's great, because I feel like the relationship is very reciprocal. So there's a lot of communication, I feel, back and forth between you and the other person. I feel the communication, emotional communication is great. There's emotional chemistry, there's physical chemistry. And overall, it's somebody that you feel really good about. You can depend on, and they make you feel good. Which brings us to the present situation here. We have the High Priestess as well as the Two of Swords. So the High Priestess is kind of like the whole unveiling process, okay? It's kind of like no longer being in the dark and stepping from the dark into the light. So it's like clarity of vision, trusting your intuition once again. I feel that a lot of you were broken and you didn't know who to trust, and you went to relationships with one foot out the door. At this present moment, they are pretty much telling you that, leave the past in the past. Whatever you're dealing with now, it's a new person, it's a new scenario. It's a new person. So we're talking about new people specifically. I'm not talking about exes coming back in or anything like that, okay? But they're pretty much telling you that you can't really invest yourself half-heartedly and expect a favorable outcome. So they're saying that everything in life is pretty much a gamble. So you need to just live in this present moment, and you have to stop like wavering. Should I or should I not? Like you have to make a decision here with the Two of Swords. So trust your intuition. And we all live and learn. So if you open yourself up and this ends up being another dud, so be it. At least you gave it your all and you don't have regrets, right? Because an Aquarius with living with regrets is not a pretty thing. So they're pretty much telling you can't really predict the future, but the way that you feel right now about this person, trust it and let it play out, okay? So that's what you're struggling with right now. And I feel like you're starting to open yourself up and you're just like really, really scared. You're doing it like, you're doing it in a manner where you're just like anxiously waiting for the other person to screw up. And that's a really bad way to live. So you want to be careful about this, okay? It's a new person, new energy. So you want to leave the past emotional baggage in the past and not let that taint whatever you're doing now with this new person. The foundation, we do have the Temperance card as well as the Nine of Coins. So first of all, there's somebody who's very, very super exciting that you're just really passionate about. And I feel almost like when you're down in the dumps, this person makes you very happy. They know how to say the right thing to get you to forget your troubles. They have a great sense of humor as well. And I feel that the person you're dealing with has a lot of either has their own business, they are self-employed, or they're very, very generous with their time and their money. So even if they don't make a lot of money, they're still very generous with their time and their money towards you. So you're in a state right now where you are kind of like spoiled, I feel. Spoiled by somebody, and that's great, What I'm also feeling is you're trying to juggle, a lot of you are busy with work. And the Nine of Pentacles, once again, is kind of like, self-employment. But in this deck, it's kind of like sailing over all of your financial worries. A lot of you might be just juggling between work and love and trying to find a middle ground so that you can have both, okay? And you're going to be able to do that successfully. So the money situation, work situation seems very stable. The only thing that I feel is that a lot of you might be thinking about shifting jobs or finding work, but I feel that your financial situation is stable. But that's also something that you're focused on right now, and you're trying to get that settled down before you invest yourself in a relationship. So those of you who are single, take a moment to, start dating, because I feel like all of your energy is wrapped up in this work thing, and it's fine. So, don't use that as an excuse not to date, because you have some serious suitors that are available to you in your environment, okay? What's crowning this reading and the things that you are thinking about? We have the Queen of Cups. traditionally a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. A lot of you are thinking heavily about this person. And we have the Ten of Cups, which means like it's a really, really mutually like joyful union. Feelings are being reciprocated. This is a very, very caring person, and I feel that it has the potential to go the whole 9 yards. Okay, like the whole moving in together, living together, getting married, owning a dog, owning a cat, whatever, children, the house. I feel that it has the potential here to go the whole 9 yards, and I feel that a lot of you know this. A lot of you might be wanting this with this person, this water sign, but overall a lot of you might be scared that it is such a serious thing and it happens so soon. I feel like if you're dealing with a water sign, if you're specifically dealing with a water sign, this person, I feel like they might not have that type of abundance in their environment. So they might not have the financial abundance. They might have not have that a lot of emotional support in the past from their environment. So I feel like there's somebody who enjoys, like living with less is what I'm feeling. And I feel that some of you might just be like, I would give everything, just to be with this person, and I admire the way that they live. So there is a water sign that you really, really look up to, you really admire, and you really like you know the depth of their feelings. Like you're kind of like scared, but I feel like you're fascinated by the depth of their feelings. I feel like there might have been a lot of communication between the two of you, which causes you to understand where they're coming from. And I feel like you like what you find out, and you like you're just like fascinated by this person because of the depth of their emotions. Okay. For others who are dealing with specifically an air sign, so we have here the Queen of Swords. Air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, is linked up with the star.